Hello there everyone, and welcome to the Sparkle Bright Layering Guide video. So to start with, I am going to be using the hot foil plate. Now I do have this on my hot foil machine and it's nicely heated up. I'm then going to take some foil and I'm going to pop that down, foil side down onto the heated plate. Once I have that into position, I can then take the piece of cardstock I wish to foil and pop that into place. Now with my machine, I do need to use a couple of shims to pop that through and get the right pressure. So I'm just going to pop a little couple of shims on there and then run that through my die cutting machine. Now you need to make sure that you don't force that through, so don't add too many shims where it's too thick. And then as you can see, that has a beautifully foiled there. Now I'm going to take the outline from the stamp set and I'm going to pop this into place. I'm lining up those two center points on the flowers and then making sure that the rest of the pieces are within the leaves. So once I have that in place, I can then pick that up using my block, or you could use your stamp positioning tool. It's completely up to you. For the outline, I am going to be using Obsidian black ink, but you could use whichever black ink that you do find appropriate for this. I'm then going to line that up back into place where I had it before, again lining up them flower centers and then making sure that the rest of the foiling is in within the leaf outline. So once that's in place, I can pop that down and then press that nice down firmly to make sure that it has stamped beautifully. So once I have that done, you can see that the image is very pretty so far. You could just leave it like this if you wanted to. And then I'm going to move on to the flowers. So these flowers do come together. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop them into place into the outline of the flowers that we have already got stamped. Once that's done, I'm going to ink that up using the Pastel Sunrise. This is a very beautiful blush kind of corally color. And I'm going to pop that again into place in that outline that we have of all of the little flower cluster that we have in the center. I'm just going to pop that down and make sure it's nicely stamped before I remove that one. I'm then going to move on to the second layer of the flowers, and again this is just going to fit within the outline of the ones that we've just previously stamped. So I can pick that up with my block, and for this time I'm going to be using the Canyon clay ink. This is one of my favorites. I just love how kind of earthy this one is. So I'm going to ink that up and then again place that into position onto those flowers, and that's going to add in the dark shading on the little images that we have there. Once that's done, I can then move on to the flower centers. Now we have the larger one and the two smaller ones that are clustered together, and I'll be using pumpkin pie ink for those. Once that's done, I can take the large foliage like leaf cluster that we have here, and as you can see, that is going to fit perfectly within all leaves that we have on the image. So I'm just going to use a large block to pick that one up there. So for these ones, I am going to be using the Marshland ink. So I'm just going to add this all over those leaves that we have on the image. It's a very large image, so it may take a little while just to make sure that you have all of the images covered. Once that's done, we can pick that up and then pop that back into place within the outline of that image. Again, press this down nice and firmly to make sure that all of that ink has transferred to the image. So once that's done, once we remove this, that is all of the layering complete. So I really do hope this video helps, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again really, really soon. Bye bye.